Hi there and welcome to this 47th live tech Q&A session where you can ask me some tech related questions and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. And you can post your questions in the YouTube comments and I'll take them up. And I do this for about half an hour or so. I can already see quite a few questions. So let's start this session. And the first question is from Joy Das. And this is a sort of an interesting question. Good evening, love your videos. Thank you, Joab. And he says that these days, flagship devices, that means flagship smartphones, he means, are coming with 2K screen resolution. He says the first question is, do you think in near future, flagship smartphones can offer 4K or more screen resolution? And second question, does a device with a 5 to 6.5 inch screen really need 2K, 4K or more resolution? Isn't it a overkill? Joe, very interesting question, and you have, and actually I wanted to talk about this. Yes, we are going to see 2K displays already. The LG G3 has that 2K display, that's Quad HD. And to be realistic, I would say on a cell phone that is having about 5.5 inches or something like that, it just simply does not make sense. Even this 1080p displays that we are getting with flagship phones as of now, if you talk about the PPI, that is pixels per inch, is around 440 pixels or something like that. And a human eye can not distinguish over 330 odd pixels or so. So these 2K displays, yes, they're good on paper. You have a lot more pixels, and these 2K screens, for example, around the LG, what is that, G3, that has a 5.5 inch screen. Yes, it comes to a PPF above 500 odd or something. I don't recall exactly, and I would say it's a overkill. In fact, I asked a few people who have got this LG G3, and I seriously asked them, could they find a difference between a 1080p, high quality 1080p screen and that? And they said no. For in fact, Amit Bhavani also got it, and I asked him that question, and he just said that, yeah, it looks good, but I simply can't make out any difference. So yes, it's a marketing thing, and in this smartphone industry, the sad thing is that they will market it like hell, and almost every other high-end Android manufacturer will release their flagship devices with the 2K Quad HD display. Yes, the 4K displays make sense. I would say it makes sense on larger screen devices. For example, on televisions. For example, high screen television, it might be about 50 or 60 inches. On that, yes, definitely moving from a full HD, that's a 1080p display, to a 4K display makes sense. But on very small, tiny screens, I just feel it doesn't make sense, but it's a marketing gimmick so that these manufacturers can charge you a lot more. So I hope that answers your question, Joab Das. Next question I got is from Kamesh Kotwani, and he says that he has two questions. First one, he says, sir, I download a lot of movies via torrent. Don't do that, it's illegal. But anyways, he says that, but it seeds after download. I want to know, what is seeding? Does it affect the download? What is it? Okay, it's been ages since I've done used any torrent clients. With what do you mean by seeding is that, let's say you download a torrent file, and let's say that the download, that size of that file was 1 GB, and with seeding, if you upload almost at 1 GB, then your seeding ratio will be 1:1. But let's say if you just upload, you downloaded 1 GB, but you just uploaded 200 MB, then your seeding ratio will be 0.2. I don't know, I haven't used any torrent clients recently, I don't know, but most of the torrent clients should allow you to specify the seeding ratio. So that's called seeding. And second question, he says that, when are you going to review the HTC One M8, since it's been a long time? Yes, definitely I'm going to review the HTC One M8. With this HTC One M8, I decided to do something really different. Almost every other reviewer just reviews their device after 4-5 days or a week, but it's almost 2 months since I'm using this device now, and I just wanted to give a long-term review. So I will be posting the review very soon for this HTC One M8. Just a hint, excellent phone, one of the best Android phones that I have used till date. Only con is camera is not as great as some of the other flagships. So let's move to the next question. Sorry guys, my throat is a little bit off today. This is by Vishwan. Sorry, this is by Vishwajit. Good evening, Ranjit sir. You're doing a useful job. Love your videos. Thank you. My question is, I used my Moto G as navigation device on a bike trip. I used headphones to listen to the voice guidance, but many times voice output came out too quickly to understand them. It was like fast forward audio. Please guide me. Vishwajat, I don't know. I never encountered that. I never used the Moto G on a bike. I don't drive a bike, but I have used this Moto G in a car, and it worked fine. So if any of you are experiencing something like this, do post to Vishwajit about it. But I did not encounter something like that. And in fact, I used the Moto G when I was traveling from Hyderabad to Nagpur. And it was my only navigation device. And never I had an issue of something like that you're mentioning. But again, it might be that as you're traveling on the bike, it was getting hidden. It was in your, what do you say, pocket or something, and not getting a proper GPS signal. That's the only thing I can think about. But I never had a problem with navigation on the Moto G. And this is by Kiran, and he says IRCT, that's Indian Railway website, is sold to Google. If yes, how do you see it? Kiran, it's just a spoof. It's a hoax. It was posted by the satire site called Faking News or something like that. It's not real. It's not sold. So it's just a fake news. Okay, let's move to the next story. Next question. Uh, this is by Siddharth Bhatia. Hello, sir. Congratulations on your 1,000 videos. Thank you. I want to buy a smartphone between the rupees 25,000 to 30,000. Phone should support SD card slot. Is Xperia Z a good choice? So I wouldn't recommend the Xperia Z because as of now it's a pretty old phone. Problems with the Xperia Z is that the display is not that good. It just fades away, very bad display. Also the Xperia Z has serious heating issues. So I wouldn't recommend the Xperia Z to you. I would say you can have a look at LG G Pro, or even the Note 3 Neo is available now for around 26,000 or so. So you can check out that. Also, there is this HTC Desire 816. So these are my suggestions. This is by Mohammad Rafe. Hi Ranjit sir, please suggest me a best phone under rupees 20,000. My requirements are good display, decent camera, lag free, OTG support, he says optional. And what are your views about the Nokia Lumia 1320? Mohammad Rafi, I haven't used the Nokia Lumia 1320, means I couldn't test it extensively, but I handled that device and for a few minutes, and it was a nice device. So if you are okay with Windows Phone, and definitely it will get the Windows Phone 8.1, I would say that you can check out the Lumia 1320. It is now available for what, about 18,000 or so. So that's a decent choice. Under Android, I would say my choices as of now are the LG L90, or you can also have a look at the Xperia M2. I do feel the Xperia M2 is a little bit overpriced, but you can also check out that. Even the Grand 2 now is available for about 19,500. So that's also one more device that you can look at. This is by Kushan Sikha. Good evening, sir. My question is why smartphones with glass on the back get hot more than other smartphones? For example, the Xperia Z, Z1, Z2 all have glass. Yes, if you have glass on your smartphone at the back, it just cannot simply dissipate the heat that properly. Hence, it gets very hot. And for example, even the Nexus 4 that had glass at the back had serious heating problems. So that's why these phones do get very hot. This is by Sumant. Sir, how's the performance of the Gioni eLife S 5.5? Does it outperform Grand 2? Or is the Grand 2 still a better choice? How is the camera quality? In terms of camera quality, I would say the Gioni eLife was slightly better in the camera department. But I would say I do not recommend the Gioni eLife S 5.5 because that phone tends to get very hot. It has to be one of the, I've tested hundreds and hundreds of Android phones, and that phone was the hottest phone that I have handled. It just gets too hot even while using normally. Forget about gaming. If you just use the phone normally also, it just gets very hot. So if you use the phone outdoors mostly, it's just unusable. So definitely I would say the Grand 2 is overall a better device, because I know some of the one of my cousins who got this e-life, and due to the heating problem he just hates that phone and he plans to just sell it. So definitely I won't recommend the e-life S5.5 just because of the major heating issues. Apart from that, the phone looks very good. In general performance also, I did not have any issues with the phone, but it just simply gets too hot. Let me move to the next question. Ajit Varma, hello sir, is there any way to get 5.1 audio from your laptop? Depends upon your laptop. If your laptop has that optical out, it should have that. If it doesn't have that, you can look at dedicated external DACs or something that support 5.1 audio. They are USB, they are DACs. Some of them do support that, so check that out. This is by Manav Kapoor. Hello, sir. I like your videos very much. I want to know that do you like the Android One program? What do you think about it? Manav, just check out my channel. I've actually made a dedicated video regarding the Android One program. So check that out. And in that, I have given my thoughts. This is by Bunty Banerjee. Hello, sir. In terms of screen quality, which is better, T2 Ultra or the Desire 816? To be very frank, I felt that both of them had very good screen quality, but I'll give the slight edge to the Desire 816 because it has a 5.5 inch screen and a 720p display, whereas on the T2 Ultra it has a larger screen, that's a 6-inch screen at 720p display. So if you look very closely, I was able to notice some pixelation on the T2 Ultra, but that was not the case with the HTC Desire 816. So overall, I would prefer the Desire 816. Also, in the camera department, actually, the Desire 816 performed better than the T2 Ultra's camera. So I hope that info helps. This is by Rahul Krishna, sir. Does the Nokia's 630 or 525 have any heating issues while gaming? I noticed that the Lumia 525 does heat up a little bit more compared to the Nokia 360. The 525, because of its great processor, does heat up a little bit in gaming. So if you are too much worried about heating issues, then the Nokia 630 is a better choice. This is by Dushan Yadav. Hi, sir. Good evening. Please make more videos about Mac Mini. And my query is, I want to buy a desktop CPU. Please suggest the specifications. My budget is around rupees 40,000, and in this budget, any Mac unit is available. Dushan, if you want a Mac, you can luckily get the Mac Mini Core i5 version. Just yesterday, Amit Bhavani bought it, and I asked him at what price he got it. It's available for around 42,000 rupees. So definitely it is available. And in fact, I'm using the Core i7 version of the Mac Mini. That's slightly expensive. I think so that's for about 57 or 58,000. But if you don't do very heavy tasks like video editing or stuff, then even the Core i5 version of the Mac Mini is an excellent buy. If you're building a PC yourself, definitely I would suggest that go with the Intel Core i5 chip. You can get the new versions of Haswell right now, and go with 8 GB of RAM. And if you do gaming, then you might have to invest on a graphic card. But if you don't do gaming, even the built-in graphic support of Haswell should be good enough. I hope that info helps you. This is next question is by Prathap Sarathi. It goes. And he has two questions. First question, can I get my Windows 8.1 update on my Lumia 525 from Nokia Priority? Do they update the Lumia software? Partha, right now, Nokia hasn't released the official 8.1 update yet. It's going to release this month by mid of this month, sometime around the second or third week. So just wait for that. If you can't wait, there is the developer version that is available, so you can update that. But I would suggest don't do that. Just wait for 2 weeks, and officially you'll get the OTA update on your Lumia 525 for 8.1. So let's move to the next question. And people just ask me, what is my job? What is my job? I generally don't like to answer personal questions, but I don't work for anybody. I'm a self-entrepreneur, and I'm like this for the last 20, well, yeah, almost last 18 or 19 years. You can check out my website, tech2buzz.com. And there in the About section, I have made a video about what I do or what not. So I just don't work for anybody. I am a self-entrepreneur. I just hate working for anybody. I don't do a job. Earlier in my career, I did a job for about 1.5 years. That's it. Apart from that, I'm just a self-entrepreneur. So let's move to the next question. This is by Vijay Raghavan. Sir, I'm a big fan of you. Sir, I have three questions. Which one is better, LG L90 or Gioni E-Life E7 Mini? Vijay, I haven't tested the Gioni E-Life E7 Mini, so can't comment about it. LG L90 is a very good phone for around the 16,000 budget mark. Check out the detailed review of the LG L90. It's already posted on my channels to get the pros and cons of that. Which chipset is better, Qualcomm Snapdragon or MediaTek? Definitely the Qualcomm Snapdragon is way better than the MediaTek chipsets. Uh, so yeah, MediaTek is better. Sorry, the Qualcomm Snapdragon processors are any day better than the MediaTek chipsets. Do understand that MediaTek is a very what do you say, budget-oriented chipset, and they don't make very high-end processors. Most of their processors are based on the ARM Cortex A7 architecture, whereas with the Snapdragon, they are variants of, they use the Crate processor, and they are the variants of the ARM Cortex A15, which is significantly faster processor. So I hope that info helps you. Some of you are asking me about HTC Desire 516. Sorry, I haven't tested that device, so can't comment. Um, this is by Saksham Gandhi. Sir, can you suggest me a phone around 15,000? I'm a bit confused about Moto G or Alcatel One Touch or Grand 2. Okay, I can't comment about the Alcatel because I haven't tested it and no plans of testing it. A lot of people are, a lot of you are asking me. Sorry, I have no plans of reviewing that. Regarding Moto G and the Grand 2, I would say Moto G is an excellent Android device. I have used it for a long time. The only con with the Moto G is the voice. In terms of voice call clarity, it is not as clear as some of the other devices. So if you do not make a lot of voice calls, if you just make casual voice calls every day, just 5-10 minutes, then it will be okay. But if you're primarily using a phone to do huge voice calls, let's say half an hour, 1 hour every day, then I won't recommend the Moto G. Then Grand 2 would be a better choice. But overall, I would say among these, forget about the Alcatel and decide between the Moto G or the Grand 2. Another option is there in middle, that is the LG L90, which is in between these two devices in terms of the pricing. It's around 16,000 or so. I hope that info helps. This is by Sailor Home. Is it worth to buy the Samsung Galaxy S5 at 35,000? And does it deliver the kind of price to performance ratio at 35,000? And what is its competition? Sailor, yes, definitely. Now the Samsung Galaxy S5 that is sold in India, the pricing is around 34 to 35,000. And yes, at that price, it's an excellent phone. If you are a person who likes to take a lot of photographs, I would say the camera on that Samsung Galaxy S5, that's the 16 megapixel ISO cell, is one of the best. Yes, in very low lighting, it doesn't do a great job. But overall, in terms of camera, it has a fabulous camera. The screen, the Super AMOLED screen is excellent. Yes, the back of the S5 is not that great. When you maximize the volume, it vibrates a little bit, but still with those cons, you can check out my detailed review of the S5 on my channel to know the pros and cons. But I would say still at the 35,000 price point, I would say it's an excellent phone. One con that I have with the Samsung Galaxy S5, the Exynos version that is sold in India, is that if you're a very heavy gamer, then I would not recommend you that phone because it uses that Mali 628 GPU, and in some of the high-end games, those games are simply not optimized for that GPU. Hence, you will face some lag in high settings with those games. But if you're not a very high-end gamer, then definitely a Samsung Galaxy S5 at the 35,000 price point, I would say it's an excellent deal. Also, regarding the competition, there is one also this LG G Pro 2, which is that phablet 5.9 inch, is also available at that price. So that is one more excellent phone, I would say, at that price point right now. I hope that this info helps you. So let me just move to the next question. Oops, getting a backache. This is by Am Sumant, sir. Which one is better, Note 3 Neo or Moto X in terms of raw performance? Screen size is not an issue. In terms of raw performance, if you do benchmarking, then the Note 3 Neo will go ahead. But personally, if you ask me between both those devices, I will prefer the Moto X. The Moto X is a beautiful device. It fits easily in your hand and it has that always on listening. The only biggest con I have with the Moto X is the battery life. The battery life is way better on the Note 3 Neo. So decide if you like the S Pen features and if battery life is critical, then go for the Note 3 Neo. But if you want single hand operations and battery life is not critical, then Moto X is for you. This is by Samrat Das. A very similar question to the last one. Good evening, sir. First of all, thank you for reviewing phones in such a brilliant way. Thank you. I have a question regarding phone. Which is better? Samrat Das asks us, Note 3 Neo or the HTC Desire 816 in terms of general usage and net browsing? I would say definitely the Note 3 Neo is a more powerful device compared to the HTC's Desire 816. No doubt about that. In camera, I felt that the Desire 816 is better than the Note 3 Neo. But the Note 3 Neo has that advantage of that S Pen, and I would say it's a Super AMOLED screen, so everything looks very vibrant on it. In terms of battery life, both are very similar, but one place where I notice a con with the Note 3 Neo is that the Note 3 Neo tends to get a little bit heated up more compared to the HTC Desire 816. But definitely, in terms of raw performance, the Note 3 Neo is a more powerful device compared to the HTC Desire 816. So I've already done the in-depth review for both these devices. So check out my video reviews and then decide which one is better for you. I hope that info helps. So let's move to the next question. This is by Suresh Sharma. Sir, please tell me, will Moto E get lifetime Android updates? Sorry, you can't even expect lifetime updates for the Nexus 5. Forget about the Moto E. It might get one or two more updates. Apart from that, it won't get any updates. And he asks at which version will it stop updating. I don't know, that only Motorola can answer, and Motorola is also not very clear if the next version of Android, that is Android L, will get the Moto E will get the update for that or not. So any phone, Suresh, any phone, even this HTC, what is this, One M8, which is the flagship device from the HTC One M8, will not get lifetime updates from Android. It's just the fact. Generally, even the flagship devices, what I've seen from Android, at least, they generally get updates just for about 2 odd years from the date of release. So I hope that info helps you. Yadav Raghav, please don't ask me questions about Micromax device. I don't review them. He asked me which phone is better, S4 Mini or the Micromax Canvas Gold. I don't know about Micromax Canvas Gold. I don't even know the specs. Now, yes, definitely the Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini is a very good buy. It's available for about 17 to 18,000, and it's a pretty good device. Let me just look at the questions. Just scrolling. Give me a second, guys. Just scrolled somewhere. Okay. This is by Samir Sheikh, sir. What about Xiaomi Mi 3? As will it be coming to India? Yes, Samir. We heard that Xiaomi, which is a very big brand in China, and in China, whenever they release the phone, they generally these Xiaomi phones generally get sold out within 48 hours or so. Yes, they are coming to India, and from what I read, they are going to launch 2 models. One is the Mi 3, and another is the flagship device that will have the Snapdragon processor. And they are going to be launched soon, and it will be launched exclusively by Flipkart, so online only. Again, I don't recall the date. It should be coming in the next pretty soon back. This is by Jiraj Mathur. What is the performance lag speed difference between Moto G and the Moto X? Definitely the Moto X is a superior device. It's a faster device. Even the Moto G is a very good device. And when I was using Moto G, I did not notice a lot of lag. But yes, with Moto G, the Moto G has just 1 GB of RAM and the Moto X has 2 GB of RAM apart from the faster processor on the Moto X. One thing I noticed is that when you do very heavy multitasking on the Moto G, switching between the apps can sometimes take about 2 seconds. So there you might notice a little bit of jutter and lag. But that's not the case with the Moto X. I hope that info helps you. This is by Akhil Chaudhary. Good evening, sir. I'm a great fan of yours. Thank you, Akhil. Could you suggest me a good phone under rupees 10,000? This is interesting. Under 10,000 for on Android, I would suggest the Moto E. Very good phone. Actually, I'm using this Moto E for my secondary SIM. I'm using it this Moto E. Again, the camera on this Moto E is not great. On Windows Phone, if you're okay with Windows Phone, you can check out the Lumia 525. I think so. It's now available for about 8,500 or so. Also, if you can wait for some time, Akhil, Samsung is going to launch about 2 budget-oriented phones now in the next couple of weeks or so. So, and Samsung hasn't hinted. For example, it's the Core Galaxy Core 2, and also the Ace might be launched or something like that. Ace. So Samsung hasn't hinted the pricing, but I think so one of those phones will be under the 10,000 price bracket. So if you can wait for a couple of weeks, you can wait. Otherwise, Moto E or the Lumia 525. This is by Ravi Pandey. Nexus 5 or the Note 3 Neo, which one is better overall? Definitely the Nexus 5 is way faster and a better device overall. But the biggest con with this Nexus 5 is the battery life. The battery life on this Nexus is, I would say, if you are a casual to a mid user, it will suffice you. But if you are a kind of a, heavy user, then the Nexus 5 battery life will be not that great. But still, even with the battery life con, between the Note 3 Neo and the Nexus 5, I would definitely say the Nexus 5 is a better, and it's a much more faster device overall. So let's move to the next question. This is by Sankar Ashwin. Good evening, sir. You are giving ratings for the voice call like 8 out of 10. For example, on Moto G, you said 6 out of 10. Which phone has 10 out of 10? Very interesting question, Sankar. I felt the iPhone 5S had fabulous voice quality. I would rate that 10 out of 10. Even this HTC One M8 has excellent voice quality. Apart from that, I would even say that the Samsung Galaxy S5 also had very good call quality. I would say about 9.5 out of 10. But iPhone 5S and even, the Moto X had excellent voice call quality. After Moto G, I was not expecting that, but even the Moto X has excellent voice call quality. So these are some of the phones on which I experienced excellent cellular voice call quality. I hope that info helps you. Let me just move to the next question. This is by Balram. Good evening, sir. Love your videos. And he asks us 2 questions. First one is, when will the Android One mobile be released? Will it be this month? Balram, from what I heard, just yesterday, Google made a statement that these devices will come out somewhere around the October timeframe, October 2014 or so. And second question he asks us, will a phone having Android L be launched in the price tag of below 10,000? It might be because this Android One program might launch with Android L devices, as Google hinted, and they're going to be launched around the October timeframe. As of now, Google has not even hinted when this Android L will be released. So only after that is released, we will be seeing Android L devices, and I expect the Android L it will take some time because I'm running Android L. This is the developer preview, and it still has a lot of bugs. So it will take a couple of months for Google to fix all the bugs, and only after that you'll see Android L devices. So let me just move to the next question. This is by Manik Singh. When will you review the PS4? Sorry, I have no plans of reviewing the PS4 because generally I don't want to get into the gaming reviews of consoles, etc. I just use the PS4 uh, for my entertainment. I just don't want to make a review and make it a thing that I have to work on it. PS4, I would say it's an excellent console. I love it. It's been working fine. Only issue with the PS4 as of now is the selection of games that we have on the PS4 is a bit limited. So check the library of PS4 games. If you like that library, go for the PS4. It's excellent. I do enjoy playing PS4. I generally don't get time to play a PS4 a lot. Maybe in a month I just play 4 or 5 hours or so. Uh, and second question, he says, should I go with the Moto E or wait for the budget Nexus devices? Uh, Definitely, I would say go with the Moto E. With the budget Nexus devices, I think so. You're hinting at that Android One devices. One sad news I just wanted to share that just yesterday I read somewhere that those Android One devices that are so-called the budget Nexus devices will have the MediaTek processors, not the Qualcomm ones. So definitely, if that is the case, then still I would say Moto E would be a better choice. So let's move to the next question. This is by N3RO Gaming HT. Uh, he goes, hello Ranjit, congrats on running such a successful Indian tech channel. Thank you. I'm in search for a new device within the rupees 15,000 bracket. So should I wait for some new devices? Yes, definitely. Just wait for some time because as I mentioned a couple of minutes earlier, Samsung is going to launch some two actually. Actually, they announced 4 devices, but I don't think so. All the 4 of them are going to come in India, but at least 2 of them are going to come in India. So definitely, you can wait a few weeks for example, the Core Galaxy Core 2 is coming, and the Ace 4. I am not very sure if the Ace 4 is going to launch in India, and also the Galaxy Young, that's the budget-oriented device, is going to launch. So you can wait for a few weeks. Definitely, if I'm expecting that the Galaxy Core 2 will launch in India, and if it launches, definitely I'll do the review for that device. So let me just move to the next question. One second, guys. This is by Manav Khanna. Sir, I'm a musician. I want to connect a full-size microphone to my laptop. I have external sound card, or he's asking, does he want to buy an external sound card or a built-in laptop? Manav, you can do that by buying a DAC and stuff like that. But what I'm doing is I'm also using a dedicated mic. For example, as you can just see, this is a full-featured mic, but this is a USB mic. The one I'm using is the Blue Yeti mic. The audio quality is very good. I'm very far away. Let's say if I'm just near to just see the audio quality, you can get a little major bass also. So it's actually a pretty good mic. And if you're on a budget, check out these USB mics. You just connect it to a USB port and they just work. And it's a lot more easier. You can buy external devices like and plug it in, but it works out to be a little bit more expensive. For example, you have devices that accept XLR inputs and stuff like that. But again, that way if you go, they are not cheap as far as I know. So I hope that info helps you. So let me just move to the next question. This is by Rahul. I want to buy a smartphone around the rupees 35,000 mark. So which one would you suggest, the LG G2 Pro or the Nexus 5 or the Galaxy S5 or the Xperia Z1? I would say if you are okay with the large screen size of the, LG G Pro 2, that is a 5.9-inch screen, definitely go for that. It was an excellent phone, one of the best, among the best phones that I've handled. Again, it was a little bit big. Only con with the LG G Pro 2 is that, and with many of the LG devices, is that in terms of Android updates, they are a little bit slow. So if you're not worried about the latest Android updates and you just want to get it very fast, then you can go with the LG G Pro 2. But if you just can't wait for the latest Android updates, then definitely the Nexus 5 is for you. But again, as I mentioned again and again, battery life on the Nexus 5 is not that great. I would not recommend the Xperia Z1 to you. Yes, you can also definitely have a look at the Galaxy S5. And again, I would say Galaxy S5 is an excellent option if you don't do very high-end gaming. I would say that is one of the best choice as of now. It has the excellent camera. Overall, it's a good phone. But again, there are some few cons with that. So check out my review for the Galaxy S5. I've also done the review for the LG G Pro 2 and even the Nexus 5, and decide between these three. I won't recommend the Xperia Z1 because the screen quality is not good and it has major heating issues. So let me just move to the next question, and it's already about 35 minutes, so I'll be ending the session in the next couple of minutes, guys. And this is by Ankur Patel. I'm planning to purchase a wearable smartwatch, Pebble Smart, and he says Pebble is the first choice he gives. Samsung Gear Live, okay. Moto 360 and LG Watch. Which one to purchase? Actually, the Moto 360 hasn't been launched yet. I won't recommend the Pebble as of now because the Pebble is pretty old and it has a monochrome screen. If you're okay with that and battery life is really critical, then go for the Pebble, because the Pebble on a single charge can easily last for 5 to 7 days. But all these other smartwatches need to be charged in a day or maximum in about 2 days or so. I am personally actually waiting for the Moto 360. I just like the design of it, and so again, Moto 360 is not yet launched. We don't even know the pricing, but Google has hinted that it will be launching in the next couple of months. So if I were you, I would wait for the next 2 months and check out the Moto 360. But if battery life is really critical, then still Pebble holds the king. It's the king in battery life. So I hope that info helps you. Some of you are asking me about Android updates on the Moto X. Sorry, I don't work for Motorola, guys, and Motorola doesn't leak me info. So definitely ask Motorola when we'll be getting the update. We are going to get the 4.4.3 update on the Moto X and even on the Moto G, but I just don't know when. It should come out this month, as far as rumors are concerned. This is by Zach. Hi Ranjit, I don't like the UI of LG phones, but it seems that they are introducing great phones. So if I buy LG G Pro 2 and install Yahoo Aviate, will it affect my battery life or the performance? No, it will work. Actually, these custom launchers, third-party launchers, do not affect the battery life that much. And in fact, the LG G Pro 2 has very good battery life. So don't worry about battery life if you use a third-party launcher. This is by Manik saying, so what do you think about the LG G3? Will it be better than the Galaxy S5, as both are using the same CPU? No, actually, the CPU, the processor that is used on the Samsung Galaxy S5 that is sold in India, that is the Exynos version. It's different. In India, what we are getting is the Exynos 5 octa-core version, but the LG G3 uses the Snapdragon 801 processor. That is used. This is the same processor that is used on this HTC One M8. Again, I can't say which is better because I haven't tested the LG G3. I think so the LG G3 is going to, rumors are pointing. I asked LG India, they didn't give a definite answer. They just said that it might be launching officially in India this month. Again, no idea about the launch date or the pricing. I hope they price it sensibly, not something like what Samsung did with the Galaxy S5. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed about that. Let me just move to the next. This is by Atish Shah. I need to know your opinion regarding Oppo Find 7 and OnePlus One and their availability. Regarding Oppo Find 7, it's going to launch officially in India. It was priced at what? 37,000 or so. The 7A, the lower end version, is available for about 31,000. I will try to review the Oppo Find 7A soon. Regarding OnePlus One availability, no, it's not going to be officially launched in India, so just forget about it. So that's regarding Oppo Find 7 and OnePlus One. This is by Shrikant Kumar. Again, a big question, so let me just take this. And I'll directly jump to the questions because time is just ticking. First, why Samsung is using Exynos processor in the flagship rather than Snapdragon, which is more faster and saves more battery life, the Exynos or the Snapdragon? The thing is that the Exynos line of processor are Samsung's own. Samsung manufacturers it, and according to Samsung, this is the statement by Samsung. Samsung says that they are bundling Exynos processors in regions which do not have LTE. Sadly, in India, we don't have LTE. That's why we are getting the Exynos processor. That is the official statement by Samsung. And regarding which is more faster, I definitely felt that the Snapdragon 801 is slightly faster compared to the Exynos 5. Also, in terms of battery life, definitely the Snapdragon 801 is better in battery life compared to the Exynos 5, because I have used the Samsung Galaxy S5 that had the Exynos 5, and I'm using this HTC One M8 as my primary device, which has the Snapdragon 801, and clearly I get much better battery life on this HTC One M8. So next, I won't. He's asking about materials. The Samsung Galaxy S5 uses plastic. HTC One is metal, and the Xperia Z2 has glass and plastic. I won't get into that. It's personal preference. The thing is that with glass, generally it tends to heat up a lot. Hence, you see a lot of heating issues on the Xperia Z2. Third question he's asked us is, I'm planning to buy a new phone under rupees 45,000. Which is the best in terms of display, battery, and multimedia? Okay. So your criteria is display, battery, and multimedia. As of now, I would say, as you didn't mention camera was the highest priority, I would definitely recommend the HTC One M8. I have been using this phone now for almost 2 months. Fabulous phone. In terms of display is very good. Battery life is excellent. And also, due to that boom speaker, the two, even for multimedia, I would say it gives very good, what do you say, yeah, experience you'll get. And in fact, in gaming, due to that dual speakers, you get that really immersive stereo effect. So definitely my vote would go for the HTC One M8. So again, guys, it's over 14 minutes. Again, I'm continuously getting questions, but simply I just can't take them. So I'll be ending this session. Again, do remember that I do this every week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. India time. So the next Tuesday is 8th of July. So again, we'll be doing it at 7 p.m. India time. And I hope that you'll be able to join me. Again, I have also posted a lot of other videos recently on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't lately checked out my YouTube channel, check out that. Thank you for joining on this session, and I hope to see you in my next video.